No, lots. I agree with a lot of this because I remember back in my stage, I could easily have, 4 or 5 girls that you're dating, and they're all sitting around like waiting. That means these other guys are pulled out of the marketplace. These girls are wasting time waiting. It did hit me one day, like, oh, I would never lie to these girls. Don't get me wrong. I tell my girlfriend, but it's just like with these. I could still realize that I was hurting these girls. They can't have like unattached sex the same way men do, and you realize like, oh, by having this random sex, you're hurting these women, hurting society. I didn't think about it, but I guess I'm hurting all society because I'm taking them off the marketplace for other men. They're just sitting around waiting until you get rid of them, and it's just like it's kind of fucked up.
Well, a lot of blame goes to them as well.
Yeah,
Like
I'll blame the girls more than me.
Yeah.
You could justify it, like, oh, these girls are always screwing over guys, but no, feminism. So that's probably the biggest problem, more than the white man.
Yeah, I mean, so if you have like a country with no immigration and it's like just a pure white utopia, and you still have feminism, you still have women's empowerment, you're gonna have all these particular problems.
No, I agree on this. I think it would have to be, it would have to be changes, and I think I would like to see, some of these white groups and Muslims work more together. I don't know if you would like to, but I think a lot of these conservative white groups have very similar ideology to Muslims, but they don't realize it.
Yeah, there are a lot of shared values, and like I said, I have a lot of sympathy because I feel like just like Muslims, their identity is being erased, their religion, like liberalization in the Muslim world. Like there's this talk about white genocide, like genociding white people through immigration, mixed marriages, etc. But Muslims are genocided in a similar way. Our identity is also being taken through secularization, liberalization, forced atheism, like forced freedom of religion, or like the right to mock religion. Like this is something that I always get in trouble for with mainstream, because I defend the apostasy laws in Islam, like apostasy, blasphemy laws, because in Islam, if you insult God or his prophets, or you like burn the Quran or something like that in a way to insult, then that comes with a death penalty. Like it's capital punishment.
Well, I mean, it's their own cultures. Who are we to say what cultures are? Now, I'm not saying we should bring it to America. I don't think we should insult religions here, but also, who are we to judge what another country does? If they
Well, you would judge I don't take that kind of perspective, like a relativistic perspective, because if it was cannibalism,
okay,
am I
I
gonna say,
that.
It's their culture, it's their cannibals,
but
I think there's a rational basis. Like I think it's something that we can defend beyond just relativism.
Yeah.
That we need to, like, if you care about God, like if you care about religion and society and the symbols of religion and society, then you can't allow it to be mocked. Like there has to be restrictions.
Well,
like maybe it's not going to be the death penalty in
real
all
quick,
cases.
I say I don't think it should be the death penalty. I wanted to clear that up. But I could understand your point. If you're in a country where it's almost all Islamic and stuff, to allow people to sit there and mock it. I mean, look what's happened. That's what happened to Christianity. It started getting mocked, and now it's like almost dead. Now there's trans flags on churches.
Yeah, and I mean, that's every society. It's not even religious, but every society wants to preserve its symbols and its identity. So the recent controversy with Trump wanting to ban burning of the American flag.
Our First Amendment allows that, I don't like burning the flag, but we do have the Constitution, so it makes it a little tricky. That's kind of the whole point.
But that destroys like identity, like that. If people are able to like burn the flag, mock identity, like mock like the sacred symbols of your, especially with religion, but even culture or nationalism, if you're able to mock those symbols, then that's going to degrade the awe or the respect for those symbols within society. And then maybe like you won't be affected, but your children will, and their children will. They won't even have this kind of concern for nation, or like we have to be proud of who we are or our heritage, because it's been mocked. Like look at the amount of mockery of Jesus, for example, in Europe and Christian society.
It's
like that,
they just take it and allow it.
Yeah, but that's like, that has a massive effect on the kind of reverence or sacredness of Jesus in the eyes of people, right? And so that has a tangible effect on reducing religiosity or even like the character of society, because you allow that mockery of Jesus, or you allow like spitting on the flag or burning it, these national symbols. Like that has, like, if you just allow absolute freedom of speech, that can have a massive negative consequences for the character of your society. And so in Islam, we want to preserve belief in God. We want to preserve respect for religion, because that's the future. That's the future of if we want our country to be Muslim, if we want our people to be Muslims, our children to be Muslims, we have to punish blasphemy. But then you have Western liberal rights organizations, human rights organizations, the UN saying that, oh, you have apostasy laws, you have blasphemy laws. This is contrary to freedom of religion. It's contrary to freedom of speech. We have to abolish those laws. You have to adopt like liberal democracies in these Muslim countries. You can't have Sharia law. You can't have like a hardcore Islamic law. That's okay. That's Muslim genocide. You're attacking the character and the heritage and the values of Muslims, and that's been happening for 300 years, like since the beginning of the colonial period, and even up to this day.
Yeah, I know all these recent wars, or I've been strongly against all these regime change wars over because they run their countries slightly different to us. Also, you got to realize America and Middle East is not the same place. Sometimes these places need leaders a little different. You can't run them the same. And as far as the church, I believe in God, but then it's been hard for me to jump to, to be a Christian when I see trans flags flying. I saw Jesus getting mocked. And in the comments, I saw Muslims more upset than Christians that Jesus was getting mocked. That was a moment that was very interesting because I didn't realize that Jesus was loved by Muslims too.
Yeah, Jesus is the Messiah. So Muslims believe that Jesus is the Messiah, one of the greatest. We believe he's a prophet. He's a prophet of God in a long line of prophets, starting from Adam, Abraham, Moses, John the Baptist, Jesus, and then Muhammad, peace be upon them all, as the final prophet. So a long line of prophets all preaching the same message of God is one, God is all powerful, all knowing creator, the loving, most just creator. So and we should worship him. Like that's the central teaching of Islam. And Jesus has a special role.